Yep, you read the title correctly. Gustavo Back At It is, well, officially canceled. It's not a joke. It's not a troll. It's honestly nothing but the truth. Uh, Me and Evan collectively decided that this video won't be coming out. Now, I've been hesitant on making this video because I'm worried at the response that's going to get. Because I know there's some people out there that were genuinely excited for this, and I worry that this is either going to. I worry that it's either going to sadden or aggravate them. But, yeah, I know this is like all sudden, but let me explain as to why exactly we are canceling Gustavo Back At It. As most of you know, me and Evan began production on Gustavo, a solo story after Bombo's Hunt. It was back with, well, we made it with my friends Lily and Nerdy. And, well, the film didn't take too long. It only took about 2 months to finish filming and editing. Once I published it, I was overwhelmed with the positive reaction my friends gave me, as well as some heartwarming responses from my followers. Overall, it was an exciting time. We made a solid short film, and to be fair, we were all proud of it. Frankly, I still am proud of Gustavo. It's a solo story, not Back At It. So it was no surprise to everyone that we immediately wanted to work on the follow-up. Originally, Gustavo Back At It was going to be called Gustavo, the Return of Gondalorp. At the time, I was making short, stupid videos introducing characters into the whole Luongo mythos, most notably Captain Detroit and Dr. Notorio. From what I remember from the original idea for Return of Gondalorp, it was just going to be a repeat of Gustavo's solo story. But at the time, I was writing off the idea of making Dr. Notorio the villain in that one rather than Gondalorp. So I ended up completely scrapping the whole Gondalorp storyline for the sequel. In case you guys, and for those that haven't watched The Doctor, this is what Dr. Notorio was going to look like in the film. Since this thing isn't coming out, I may as well just show some behind the scenes stuff while we talk here. Now, what does any of this have to do with the cancellation? Well, it all started when we actually began filming. From the start, the whole thing was honestly a mess. We had an unfinished script, we had blazing heat and terrible weather every time, and Evan and Lily both had summer jobs, meaning the scheduled times for filming was always being changed. As we filmed, we encountered a lot of complications from random improvisation and just honestly some random plot points that were just thrown in out of nowhere. That first day when we filmed was truthfully a nightmare. We were in public and, we were in public and there were freaking police everywhere. And while we were filming, we were worried that an officer would see us and roll up, stopping the project. So that was fun. Honestly, after that first day, I wasn't really happy with what we got, but because of how stressful shooting was during that time, I just stuck with the footage and moved on. Now, when I continued filming, it wasn't with Evan or Lily. Rather, it was with my good friend Nerdy. She plays the character of Gondalorp, for those that didn't know. I should note that Nerdy lives over an hour away from me, so getting her out here to the film was already hard enough. And when she was here, we had a selected time span. Like, she was only here for 5 to 6 hours, so we had to get all our scenes done in that amount of time. Gondalorp scenes were probably the easiest to film, as we were just inside for a majority of the time. But the problem was that the time frame was leaving me stressed and kind of left me rushing the scenes. Surprisingly, we got them all done, but I was yet again just not really happy with the direction I took with the scenes. Now, Nerdy, if you're listening, which I'm fairly certain you are, you did a fantastic job and you just slipped right back into the role of Gondalorp. And I'm sorry if this news is just kind of upsetting for you. After that segment of filming, everything was honestly and just truthfully a pain in the ass to get done. Like, honestly, we didn't touch the project for a few months because we had a scene planned out that would sadly never be done the way I wanted it to. The short of it is that we were just, there was a falling out with our friend group between two of my good friends. And the problem was that they were going to be interacting in this said scene. But because of the falling out, Jesus Christ. But because of the falling out, the scene never really came into the way I envisioned it. So again, that was fun. And to be honest, from that point, I constantly delayed the project over and over again. It wasn't really because of anything that was happening after that. Rather, I was just at a low point and just not really satisfied with how it was all coming along. And as you delay something and just don't touch it, days turn to weeks and weeks turn to months. But eventually we did come together and shoot the opening for the film. But after that, I slowly came to the realization that the project was just a total mess. The plot was all over the place. Characters felt more like MacGuffins than just regular characters. Like, the characters were there, but they just felt like pointless statues that no one really cared about. And to be fair, the story that we had laid out was not cohesive at all. And to be completely honest on my end, the film turned into more of a burden than an actual fun project. To say the least, me and Evan's hearts weren't in it. Like, we just didn't really feel as if this film was worth it. Like, we genuinely just didn't see the point of putting it out. Because in our minds, if we don't think it's good, then what's the point in thinking others will enjoy it, you know? So, last night we actually had a long discussion on whether we should actually cancel it or just start from the beginning. We took the latter. And I know there's going to be some people in here that be like, well, what do you mean? Like, you had like a whole story and everything. Like, what the hell does this even mean? Because I just gotta be real with you, for like anyone. Honestly, just take a long, hard look at Gustavo. Just take a long, hard look and tell me you can honestly take him seriously as a character. Luongo Mythos just started as a joke about Boba Fett. It was just kind of riding off the hype of The Mandalorian. And the whole video started out as a joke. But because everyone really enjoyed it, I decided to go along more with it. And soon that joke just became a long project that I'm just honestly losing passion for. For those curious, I will explain the plot of Gustavo Back At It and what it was going to be like. And after I explain it, I'll actually show some of the clips that we actually finished for the film. So you could just enjoy them for what they are. So I'm just going to start off and say that Gustavo Back At It was going to be the proper sequel to Bombo's Hunt. It was essentially just going to follow Gustavo, who was now no longer going to be a hermit, but rather he was going to go out and fight crime because he was inspired by Bombo's courage, I guess. But in terms of like how the film was, it would have opened with a flashback to the 50s, where you would actually see Gustavo's parents, as well as a baby Gustavo and a baby Gondalorp. Here's a photo of me holding the prop we used for baby Gustavo. Frankly, this image still honestly cracks me up because of how absurd the baby looks. And, here's another photo of the car we used. It's this old Beetle that Evan has, and we just thought it was perfect for the scene. The whole scenario was going to be about what happened to Gustavo and Gondalorp's mother and father. And if you know anything about Batman, then you'd kind of see where this is going. Gustavo's parents would be shot in an alleyway Sorry, I cannot speak. The parents would have been shot in the alleyway by a guns for hire hitman, because I think, if I'm remembering what we had in the script, I think it was because they just don't like the Gustavo people, which was actually going to be explained in the movie. I think I was going to call them the Gustavans. I may as well just kind of go into that now. Essentially, the Gustavans were like an ancient tribe of people that lived on Earth. and they were kind of like a branching off point from like early humans and hominids. And essentially, what would happen, the backstory would show that an asteroid came down the Earth and released the Luongos, sparking them into a long war and conflict, aka the Purge. Yeah, you can kind of see why, where we kind of couldn't take this seriously anymore. Anyways, after the death of Gustavo's parents, it would cut to fucking. It would cut the Gondalorp being asleep in a cabin from Luongo National Forest. And what happened there, he would kind of just sit there, talk about like a nightmare he had. And then out of nowhere, Dr. Notorio would just kind of show up, kick his ass, and be like, he was just going to be like, you need to tell me everything you know about Gustavo. And that's where the title crawl would come in. After that, it would open back up on a modern day Detroit, where we see a new character called Hammy. Now, Hammy, I'll just show him here. He was an inside joke between me and Evan back in, I think, middle school. I don't really remember where he originated from, but all I know, he's older than the Luongo mythos itself, so there's that fun fact. And he stole... I'm sorry. Like, I'm kind of sick right now, so it's really hard to talk, and I don't know. But essentially, Hammy was going to steal Jet Jumbo from the back of Gustavo's car, which opened on to just a running montage. And then Gustavo would fight him and kick his ass. I do actually have that all filmed, so I'll show that. After that, Jet Jumbo would tell Gustavo that he had a call from R3. And so, Gustavo goes home, goes to R3, and when he goes to the message that R3 had for him, it's, surprise, surprise, Captain Detroit. There was a video that I recorded that would be for Captain Detroit saying he needed help. And I think I wrote this in, but Gustavo is a big fan of Captain Detroit. It's kind of like how, I guess, Peter in the MCU is like towards Iron Man. Like, he's a big inspiration for him, I guess. I don't know. And, Gustavo would leave thinking that he needed to help Captain Detroit. But then it would cut to a plot reveal, or a plot twist, I should say, that Gondalorp was the one who sent the video. And the video would have been revealed to be one from like 2 years ago. And as we cut back to Gondalorp, we see Dr. Notorio telling him that he needs Gustavo. And then, because he wants to kill him, I guess. And then Gondalorp would be like, well, why don't you just kill me? Because, they're brothers. And then Dr. Notorio gives like a big bombshell that he was taken as a baby by the Guns for Hire men. Because I don't know. Truthfully, I don't really remember what the idea was, but I just remember that I wanted an origin for Gondalorp. And it would just kind of end with Gondalorp just kind of downplayed and just sad, because he realized his whole life was a lie. He was just kind of discarded for it. After that, we would actually see Dr. Notorio take Luongo's cloak that Gondalorp took at the end of Bombo's hunt, because I needed something, well, at the time, to work on for a Gustavo 3. So there's that. And afterwards, we see Gondalorp running to Gustavo's house to try and warn him about Dr. Notorio. He essentially breaks in and, he breaks in, goes to Gustavo's computer to call him. But before that, we actually shot this really funny fucking clip of Nerdy literally grabbing Suck Nasty, he's my skeleton, and literally throwing him. Like, he almost fucking took my head off when he threw, well, when she fucking threw him. So here's that clip. Go. So after that, Gondalor would call Gustavo. Gustavo would answer, and the two would bicker back and forth. Gondalor would be like, you need to get out of there. You need to get out. And Gustavo would be like, no, Captain Detroit needs my help. Why are you calling me? And then Dr. Notorio would show up and essentially just break the comm link. The two would fight. Gustavo would make a few remarks about his name being a joke on Not Oreo. I don't know why that's... I thought that would be funny, but just saying out loud just sounds kind of fucking stupid. But, well, what happened is that Dr. Notori would absolutely beat the shit out of Gustavo. And Gustavo would be like really close to death. But then Notori would make like a remark about his parents and how they were, I don't know, he would just insult his parents. And this would in turn cause Gustavo to like find the courage to beat the shit out of him back. And yet again, it's kind of like reverse psychology here. Gustavo would actually be on the brink of killing Notorio. And then, surprise, Captain Detroit would run into the scene and break up the fight. Dr. Notorio would say something along the lines of, we'll meet again, la 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 la. And he'll disappear, and I guess Gustavo would just kind of run off. The end of the movie would have been Gustavo sitting on, like, the crate out in my backyard. If you know what fucking reruns is, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. And then it would cut to this as he's looking off in the sunset.
People of Detroit, I am the green guy. Green!
That there was Green Guy. Here's a photo of Green Guy. And he was just kind of thrown in there because I really wanted a Green Goblin character for Gustavo. So I made this mask, which is meant to look like the Sam Raimi Green Goblin from Spider-Man 1. To be frank, I'm still proud of it. I don't know if I'll ever use it again, but I'm actually really proud of it. And also, big shout out to Walljoint, my, I guess my editor now for these videos, not entirely, but he did a fantastic job on those explosions. And dude, if you're listening, you're definitely not going to stop here when it comes to like these projects and stuff, because you have like earned the title of like absolute badass and Chad in my book. So I really thank you for shooting the scene, which I will be keeping because the whole clip in general is just kind of funny. So afterwards, after the explosions go off, Gustavo would look up, see the explosions, and just go, well, gotta get back at it, and jump off in roll credits. Just a little bonus after that, we'd probably get a post-credit scene of the comedian, but frankly, that's not going to happen anytime soon. So now that I've explained what the film would have been and the absolute nightmare was the film, I would like to talk about a few major changes that will probably be coming to the channel in terms of like the videos and stuff. So if you remember that old video I posted revealing all the titles of the quote-unquote projects coming up, yeah, I'm just going to scrap all those because I really just don't have any sense for a story arc now. Because if I struggled with Gustavo Back At It, then I can't help but imagine the stress and the rest of the projects it would cause me and probably Evan as well. I also won't be going back and remaking this film because I just don't have a desire to do so. For me, Gustavo, a solo story should just stay as that, a solo story, because that video wrapped up on its own little side, and honestly, I don't think he needs to expand any further. That also means that Gustavo 3 won't be happening either. What does that mean for the organic suit and Novatsug? I truthfully don't know, and frankly, I don't really care. If I'm being honest, I feel like Luongo Mythos and its characters have just become more of a chore than a fun project for me. I've just kind of grown detached from the characters and the story because of just how much random bullshit happens to the things and just everything being tampered with, like story-wise. Because, like, we'll be filming and then everyone suggests, well, what if we do this or what if we do that? And I'm guilty of that as well. Like, I'll just change things on the fly because I just don't feel like doing what's on the script. And then there's also just people who, like, shoehorn in characters that I just don't know how to work into a story. Because if anything, it just doesn't feel like our project anymore. It just kind of feels like something you just look back on and be like, oh, hey, look at that. Now, does that mean Luongo Mythos is done? No. No, that's not at all what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, like, I think there's going to be a break from these characters for a while, like I'd say like maybe a couple months before I find the motivation to go back to it. And I guess that's essentially it, because like when we overwork ourselves, it's just kind of not fun. It's not easy to film something you don't enjoy. And I hope that whoever's listening can understand that on my end and Evan's end. Because to be real with you, we are just tired. Like, we are tired from this project and we just want to get it done. We just want to be done with it. Again, I'm sorry if anyone is upset by this, but this feels to me like the right thing to do. Because if I finish this one, I feel like everyone would be like, oh, nice, it's done. Now when are you going to do Gustavo 3? And so on. Does this also mean that Gustavo is done as a character? No. As I said before, I just need to take a break when it comes to this. And this also kind of applies to Thanksgiving. I'm actually not sure if this is even going to come out in time. But I guess we'll see. Don't hold out hope onto it possibly dropping. I'm not really joking when I say that, like, because I don't know if I really want to do it. Like, I genuinely don't know if this is going to come out, but who knows. Honestly, just to wrap this up, I'm very thankful to have such amazing people help me out on this stuff. Like, in terms of projects, you guys have always been there for me, and you all do so much, and I never know how to repay you all. I wouldn't trade you for the world. Well, that's enough from me. I hope you all understand where I'm coming from, and I hope that I don't have to make another one of these videos in the future, but who knows. Anyways, thanks for listening, and here is what we have done for Gustavo Back At It. See you in the next one.
Who's there? Show yourself!
I need to know about Gustavo.
Yo, hey, what the hell? What do you think you're doing? Gustavo, help, I am being kidnapped. Oh god, this thing smells.
Jet.
Put me down, you dipshit. You don't know who you're dealing with. Help, somebody. For camera's sake, help.
You are worth more than one could imagine.
Listen, pal. If you don't return me to that car, you're done being a lot of shit.
Who the hell are you?
An emissary from hell, Gustavo.
キラリと光る光の目安らぎ捨ててすべてを捨てて悪を追って空かける Change me a pardon 君はなぜ君はなぜ戦い続けるのか命をかけて一筋に無敵の男
It actually worked. Are you okay, my sweet baby Jet?
I'm okay, thanks. Also, our freak sent you a message while you were shitting.
I'll have it sent to the cum-mobile.
Okay, Papa.
This is Captain Detroit! Oh, fuck! I'm in a little bit of a pickle right now. Some jackasses are fucking firing me downtown. Anyone send backup? Wherever this region. Oh, fuck!
Was the message sent?
Yes. But if you need this information from him specifically, why not kill me over it?
You think you have the information, but the truth is, you don't. I may as well let you know that you're fired from your job.
What?
You simply let your grudge against Gustavo get the best of you. You dwell too much on your past, or the past you remember. When you encountered Gustavo the first time, we let it slide. But the second time, you never came back. So you're fired.
That doesn't answer my question. Why are you talking so cryptic?
Oh, Gondolorp. Long story short, you don't remember anything besides your brother and that little fuzzy memory of your parents. Besides, that past life of yours is gone. You were taken as a baby, or however old you were. Your kind ages differently. Radioactive humans biting spiders for years. So ridiculous yet intriguing. You were just a cog in our machine. I'm sure they've already replaced you.
You're wrong! I was top of my game! My parents battlefield!
A cog in the machine. Guns for Hire is nothing more than a Monopoly game. And I'm thankful to say that I'm at the top of the game. But for the rats like you, you're expendable, worthless, and overall predictable. Even after everything you did, your brother didn't kill you. Yet you tried to kill him after he spared you. You probably lost the only family you have left. I changed my mind about helping you, 'cause you are nothing. Now excuse me, I've got a spider to squash. Thank you for your cooperation.
Good work, Spamton. Now, bring the children back to us. Only carry one. Are you fucking kidding? Just fucking grab one, alright? Just grab one before the cops come. Make sure it looks normal.
Now's the chance to be a big shot. Be a big shot.